Hi, my name is Lynn Yuhr from the Flying Squirrel Studio in Miami, Florida, and I've been playing with liquid clays for the last couple months and just wanted to share a couple of tips and techniques that I've been coming up with. All right, so I'm going to just demo with some black liquid Sculpey, and we're going to pretend I've already stirred this up because you do need to stir these every time you use them. And I just use my etch and pearl tool and get down in there. If you're using the clear, you need to really pour it out and do a good stir, but the color ones, I just do it right in the bottle. But one of the things I do is I create a puddle on my desk that I work with all the time, and it just allows me to, have more freedom with, what I can do.
And is the new stuff in this bottle any different than the other stuff? I mean, is it?
Well, the colors are new for Sculpey as far as I know.
Okay, and now they have how many? They have a whole bunch?
Oh my God, they've got, I think, nine different colors and effects from metallic. They've got the primaries, red, yellow, and blue, which can be mixed and make any color you want.
Right.
And then they've got the black and white, and then they've got silver, gold, pearl, bronze, rose gold, peacock pearl. I think that's it.
And black comes in the handiest?
I use black the most. I do like the colors though, and I play with those a lot. I use the black the most, yes.
And so when you leave your puddle out all day, it's not going to dry out?
It's not going to dry out. I mean, I literally leave it and I add to it periodically. There is the problem that you
put your hand in it?
Yeah, your elbow, and you reach over and you get it around. So yes, that is, you have to know where you put it.
Yeah.
But I like it to have it accessible completely on the tile, so that I can do mark making or stenciling and whatever I'm working on at the time.
And would you have to stir it again if you had it on your desk?
I haven't, because I'm using such a small quantity, I guess.
Okay. All right. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so let's start with stenciling.
Okay.
Lucy Clay has these great little stencils that are really thin and can be burnished onto a piece of clay. So you just rub it so that it, adheres well, and you can use a cosmetic sponge, a little dab of clay, not too much. You can always add more. And you put a layer on with your cosmetic sponge, and you can control the darkness of it. You can even, if you had multiple colors of liquid clay on your tile, you can mix them together and get all sorts of great effects. But these make really sharp, crisp stencils on your clay.
Wow, that's great.
When you pull it up. And I just use a paper towel to wipe this off after I've used it.
Sure. That's better than a regular stencils because
it's so thin.
Right.
The regular stencils you get from the scrapbooking art, journaling world are thicker, and they still can be used, but they don't give you as crisp an edge.
Right. Those are quite nice. And this is what, a 3" by 3".
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Really, really handy.
Okay.
And then there's mark making that you can do with this stuff that I just, have gone crazy. These are some samples here. I like to use the edge of my blade. I could probably have used a better blade, but I just tap it through my puddle.
This is the back of the blade.
The back of the blade, so you get a thicker line rather than a sharper line. And I'm just placing it down. Let me move my tile out of the way. And lifting it up. You don't get too many imprints. Then I come back in here for more clay, and you press it down, and I'm not pressing into the clay. I'm just laying it on top of the clay.
Oh, I see.
I'm not making a mark into the clay.
Okay.
I mean, it does probably make a little mark, but and so that's kind of a cool. And I've used that here on these earrings. But you can make all sorts of marks with different tools. You can use, cutters that you have, and this is just a Kemper cutter that I'm dipping in, and again, I'm just hitting the surface, and it makes a great mark. My etch and pearl tools, whatever you have on hand, that makes a great little circle too. of course, dots are always a cool thing to do. So you dip it in some clay or the liquid clay, and you come straight down, pull it back up, and it makes a great little dot.
And is that raised? Oh,
yeah, it's a little bit of raise to it. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see.
If
Come in close here. I wonder if I can get that. Yeah, it is puffed up there.
yes, it is puffed up, so it'll give you you'll feel it on the surface.
Okay.
So a nice edge technique you can do with the liquid clay is using a cosmetic sponge, is just run it around the edge to get kind of a darker patinated, also on the edge here.
A soft,
It gives it a soft edge.
shadowy edge.
And you can see I've done it on both of these over here.
Oh, a bit of grunge. And
Yeah. And it's kind of a cool little, look to it.
yeah. Oh, that's great.
So yesterday I made all these veneers, and it's basically sheets of clay that I've painted and stenciled and dotted and made marks on with liquid polymer clay. And I've left these overnight, and the liquid polymer clay essentially, I want to say, dries on it. I guess plasticizers leached out of it or something. So I can now manipulate this without smearing any of this.
And the clay is still raw.
And the clay is still raw. So I can, the fact that I can now create these and then manipulate them in any way I want to, and do something like this, it's just a simple cut and replace technique, but then I can burnish it down and nothing smears. So this is kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So these are my Rex Ray inspired pieces, and I'm going to do